Juicy Bitches podcast, where we talk about anything under the sun, from books, entertainment, self-help, and even a little spice. I'm Victoria.
I'm Kiara. And I'm Katalyn.
And today we're here to talk about the new live-action Little Mermaid movie.
You guys had to know we were going to do this.
Particularly excited for obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
Before we get into that, we are going to jump into our quenchable moments. And if you're new here, a quenchable moment is something happy or exciting that has happened to us over the last week or so that we want to share with each other and with you. So to kick us off, Katalyn, what was your quenchable moment?
My quenchable moment is that Tuesday was the all-time low concert at Red Rocks.
I knew that was going to be
it. It was a sold-out show. So there were 10,000 people there. And it was the first time All Time Low and Mayday Parade had ever played at Red Rocks. And like All Time Low like played their first song. They come out, they're like, y'all, Warped Tour bands don't play Red Rocks. And we're like, well, now they do. And that is something All Time Low has over Blink-182. Blink-182 has never played Red Rocks.
You're like, Warped Tour bands don't play anything because Warped Tour is not a thing anymore, my guy.
They're fine. They're still... Let them have their moment. But anyways, it was all GA. We got really good seats.
Nice.
We saw the hike up to the entrance, which really fucking sucked, but it was worth it. 10 out of 10 recommend Red Rocks. Yeah, we made shirts. We made shirts that said some of you didn't tell Marie to count you in, and it shows.
Ooh, that was some shade.
That is a very
people who read
kind of burn.
People who read it really liked it and laughed. Other people just looked at it where they were like, okay, but we had fun with it.
Listen, the girls who get it, get it.
Exactly.
The girls who don't.
Exactly. But I always forget how much I love Red Rocks. And 16-year-old me was very happy. That's the last band from my high school years that I hadn't seen. So,
wait, really?
Yeah.
And then there's me, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I saw All Time Low like 12 times.
I wasn't allowed to go to Warped Tour and shit in high school.
My parents didn't
let me go to a concert till I was 18. And it takes a lot for bands to come to Colorado. They were even like, we've been here for 3 days and the altitude is still kicking our ass. So
yeah.
But they had like pyrotechnics. It was great. And I'm so excited to see them at When We Were Young Fest again.
Well, as your fellow emo friend, I'm really happy you got to do that. I know how fun it is to go to a show, especially a show for a band that you've never seen live before. So
I've waited since I was 16, so half my life.
Yep. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Thanks.
I'm sure it was. Red Rock is like such a well-known location for like shows, so I'm jealous of that.
Yeah. It was great.
Good. Victoria, what was your quenchable moment? God. Do you want to show the other one too? Because you got two, didn't you?
The other
for
one
the people
is downstairs.
For the audio only.
For the people at home that don't watch videos, I got a new Simple Modern cup. I finally got the big one, the Trek one, that's 40 ounces.
Jesus.
I was holding out hope that they would come out with like a bright ass like
orange,
neon orange, and they didn't. They released this really pretty apricot color, which is like a peachy orange color. But then they did the chartreuse, which I love because it's as obnoxious as I am. And I had only seen the chartreuse in one of the smaller sizes, and then they got rid of it, so I could never get it. So obviously I had to get it when it was in the 40 ounce.
The universe was just telling you to wait.
I'm very happy. And the colors go really well together. I did not plan that. But yes, I'm very happy. Anyways, Kiara, what was your quenchable moment this week? I get the feeling I know what it is, but...
my quenchable moment is that Emily and I went to our first baseball game here in Seattle on Tuesday. So Katalyn was at a concert and I was at a baseball game.
You know what's funny? The guy in front of us in line had a Mariners shirt on. I was like, oh... And then you said you're snapping at the baseball game, and I was like, oh.
So for those who haven't realized yet, I do live in Washington, so I do root for a lot of the Seattle teams. Obviously, I'm a big hockey fan, so if you've been following along on the journey that is hockey and book talk, which we'll have a conversation about that later because that is something that I am still triggered by. Hockey's over in Seattle because the Kraken did not make it past round 2, which is really sad. So it's baseball season. And so we went to our first baseball game, and it was really fun. And so we're going again today, actually. And we're looking into getting like season tickets. So
Ooh, nice.
yeah, we had a good
Fun,
time.
fun.
You'll have a lot of fun. That's great. Well, on to something else that was really fun. At least I hope it was fun for you guys. Little Mermaid. So obviously there's been a lot of controversy around this movie because people are assholes and they can't get over somebody not white being cast as the main character. But fortunately, a lot of people seem to have gotten over it.
Yeah.
So I personally thought Hallie was absolutely fantastic.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Literally, she was phenomenal.
It was so good.
Phenomenal. I feel like there's
yeah.
no like word to describe how good she did.
Well, and the thing that I really liked, which it was the same way when they started doing the Anastasia live production musical. Hallie's voice is is a similar tone to Jodie's, so I felt like it was a really easy transition musically.
Mhm.
She just sounded absolutely beautiful, and of course I cried. Like that was to be expected. I talked about it during the Black History Month episode that I was going to cry when I saw this. But like just hearing those first like opening notes as they're going through the ocean, you haven't seen her yet, and I was like, "Oh my god, we're here! It's the moment." It was just really good.
I just like that your
Visually,
text
it was great.
to us after the movie was, I'm sure to no one's surprise, I cried.
I expected it.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously, yeah, of course I did. But it was great. I was really nervous after seeing the trailers because the visuals did look a little hanky in some of them, but obviously in final production they turned out great. It looked really good. It was just beautiful. It was great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Well, you guys will probably laugh at this. So Emily and I went to the 3 p.m. like the very first showing at our AMC.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there in the theater, and there's a couple families with like little kids, but mostly people in the theater, and it wasn't a packed theater like at all. We were able to like move our seats because we're like, this isn't the view we want, so we're gonna move up. But most people are going to be around our age. The show was supposed to start at 3. Preview start at 3. They did not. We sat there with nothing on the screen for 20 minutes before a dad went and told someone. They realized no one was up in the box. They had not turned the movie on.
Whoopsies.
So we're just yeah, this is a great movie, guys. What the fuck?
Yeah. See, our theater had some little kids, and it was really cute because like some of the kids were behind us. Because at our theater, you can pick your seats, like you have to pick your seats, and it was really cute hearing the kid's reaction. I don't think he had ever seen The Little Mermaid before, and so like his like little gasps and like, oh my gosh, mom. It was really cute. And then the kid in front of us had like a little stuffed toy shark. It was really cute that he just like holding. More kids than millennials, which was shocking, but I went Thursday afternoon, so
more millennials than kids in mine.
We went to I took my sister and we went to a 12 o'clock showing yesterday, which of course meant there were kids everywhere. But I think the thing that was most heartwarming for me was how many little black girls I saw.
Oh yeah.
And just like seeing their reaction, especially after the movie was over, like how happy and excited they were. Because at one point I almost turned to one of the moms and was like, I'm so happy that she gets to have that because we didn't. But I was like, I don't know this woman. She probably thinks I'm fucking weird. So I didn't say it. But it makes me really happy to see that they have that. Because I just always think about like how different my outlook would have been on certain types of media if I had had that. Because, we finally got a black princess and she was a frog for most of the movie.
Yeah.
So it was like,
I mean, there was the Cinderella remake with Brandy.
That's the best
which was
one.
Yeah,
exactly
the best one and is my favorite one. And also, they're coming back to do the new Descendants movie as Cinderella and Prince Charming. So I'm really fucking excited for that. I saw an interview that they did recently. I know this is a massive tangent. I don't care. We're going to talk about it anyway.
It's Disney-esque. It's fine.
But they did an interview, and they were just sitting there, just like softly speaking to one another, talking about how beautiful they looked, how much they loved each other. I was like, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is how it should be. It was just great. Anyways,
I don't know if you guys felt it at all. It maybe wasn't as like. So obviously we got Queen in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was getting definitely like Brandy Cinderella vibes with the family dynamic.
Yeah.
I was like, this seems familiar.
I agree, 100%. And I really appreciated the diversity of it all. I also appreciated that they made it a little bit more real world based. Like you could definitely
tell where they were
island
at.
in the Caribbean.
Yeah. I
Like
leaned over.
Cartagena.
I leaned over to Emily, and I'm just like, now we have like an idea of like where, which makes sense that would be where the castle is.
Yeah.
So
it was just great. I loved seeing all of the sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I loved. I actually really loved Melissa McCarthy. I wasn't sure about it, and the reason why I wasn't sure was because my heart was set on Titus Burgess for so long, because I had seen forever ago him doing his rendition of Poor Unfortunate Souls, and it was just so great. And as we know, Ursula was based off of Divine, which is an incredibly famous drag queen, and I felt in my soul like it needed to be a male singing like as a drag queen. But she was really good, and again her vocals were very similar to the original voice actress, so I thought that helped a lot musically. But I liked her little quips and the little add-ons that she had, and it was really good. I think everybody who was in it was fantastic.
I really liked when she was looking for the potion for herself, and she's like, "Why does no one put anything back?" And I'm like,
and then it was the shape of
it's you.
It was the shape of like a stomach.
Yeah.
I
was like, all right.
It was,
and then just floating by.
Yeah, she's like, oh, there it is.
I definitely I think this movie was obviously longer than the original, and I liked all of the new additives. Obviously we got more with Ursula, but we got a lot more with Prince Eric. Like, like we have so much more backstory. We have a song with him. Like he's up there's bet on it moment. I saw your situation there.
My roommate leaned over. She's like, done. This is his bet on it moment, and I was like, "Where's his water splashing?"
But it was done better. Don't worry. It was done much better.
It was so good. Now, the thing that I kept thinking though, seeing like how much more we got from him, I was like, now you hoes on TikTok can't go and do that filter and be like, oh, he has the personality of a wet blanket, because now he doesn't. So
they were in his little also, they were in his treasure trove, talking about all his treasures.
Yes. And I love the fact that he still has dimples. I don't know if anybody else noticed that.
Nope. I am a hoe for dimples. So I locked eyes on that the moment I'm just like, oh, you got dimples.
He still has dimples.
I am a hoe for dimples.
Yeah. And
I blame Prince Eric for that, I have to say.
Yeah, I will say the only thing that I was a little sad about was at the end. I love the scene of Ariel walking out of the water in her dress. And
I was really hoping for it, yeah.
But I thought that the way that they did it was cute, because Eric was more involved in the whole thing, and like him having that moment with Max, and I thought that was really sweet. And I love how they altered her clothing to fit more the style of the area, but it still was a callback to like her original blue dress and her original pink dress. And I just thought it was really good. It was so good. I'm so happy.
I just really love like all the little extra bits of like them finding she was found by like a fisherman, and they like brought her in, and they were like they brought her into the castle, and immediately they're like, oh, we're gonna bring you to the castle, the king or the queen and the princess or prince will know exactly what to do with you. And I'm like, that would not happen in real life, but all right, sure. And so they brought her in, and they washed her up, and they put her in a dress, and it was after, the really sad moment where Eric was like, oh, you're not who I thought you were, and everyone walks out, and they're like, we'll leave you to get some rest, and she's just standing there, and I'm like, you put her in a corset and heels, and now you're gonna leave her to get some rest? You could have done that first.
Oh my gosh. I loved her song during that sequence. It was really cute. I was really nervous about Aquafina, not gonna lie. There's a little bit of a weird feeling with her, especially because she has in the past used AAVE and had like a black scent as a way to push herself forward within certain communities, which she fortunately has stopped doing that. But I thought she did really good. David, rockstar.
I love
Love that
Sebastian.
man.
It was
It
so
was
great.
so good.
The only issue
So
I
good.
think I had with, and also the kid that they got for Flounder sounded almost exactly like the original Flounder, in my opinion.
Mhm.
The
My
voicing
only,
was great for Flounder. I didn't like
the only
Flounder.
issue I had was Flounder, Scuttle, and Sebastian. Like, obviously, they looked
The realism.
realistic. They didn't look
Yeah.
like the cartoon versions.
But a bird wouldn't be able to stay underwater for that long.
No.
I was sitting there and I'm just like, this is not realistic. But also, mermaids not realistic, guys.
That's yes.
I
But everything
also
else was
like
realistic.
I really like how they, instead of calling it like her voice, they leaned into like the siren
The
aspect of
sirens
Myron's,
awesome.
their siren song. I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, that's awesome. It was really cool.
Mhm.
Playing into the mythology.
Yeah. It was. I really liked the kid too that they chose to play Flounder. I was watching some interviews and stuff that they did. There's this guy on TikTok too who works as a coordinator, like a water coordinator. He worked on Avatar and he worked on this one. He's like, I'm pretty sure my NDA is up, so I can talk about this. And he was talking about the little boy who plays Flounder and how he would come to set even though he didn't have to like be there to get to know Hallie so they could be friends, so they could have like a friend relationship. I was like,
He's
that
so
is
precious.
the purest thing I have ever heard.
That's so precious.
Protect
so
this
sweet.
child at all costs.
Yeah, and I loved seeing, like I said, a little bit more from the sisters because you don't see a ton of them in the animated version. We have the little intro song where they're singing their names, and then I think they have like a minute where they're in this like dressing room. But like
They're
you see
helping.
them,
They're cleaning up the
wreck.
wreckage. That was really cool.
yeah, you
from
see them,
Prince Eric.
yeah, you see them do the wreckage. I mean, in the animated version, you just see them for a second,
Okay.
like in this dressing room where they're all in front of these mirrors and doing whatever. But I like seeing them during the wreckage. I like hearing each of them actually say something. That was great.
They had a solid cast of the sisters. I would love to see like spin-offs where we get to like actually see them, like,
yeah, well,
because we did get
think,
we got more interaction with them when, I don't know if you guys watched it, the Little Mermaid had a TV show, and we got to see more of the sisters.
See more of them then.
Katalyn, you need to go watch it. I'm pretty sure it's on Disney
Watch the
Plus.
show.
It's really good. It's really good.
Well, I'm thinking that they're gonna do the second one
with the daughter.
I have an inkling that they're gonna do the second one, which would be great.
I am part of the minority that loves that second movie.
Yeah,
I love it.
I like the second one a lot too. But I think they're gonna do the second one. Javier Bardem was great as Triton. I loved that moment where he's like, "Is my little one in love?" And I was like, I'm so glad that they kept that in there because it's hysterical.
I really loved that in Eric's treasure trove when he like walks in on her and she's like holding the figurine. He's like, "Oh, my Little Mermaid," and I'm like,
"Yep,
so cute."
I love that.
That was
it was so
great
precious
moment,
and then she called it.
Her Little Mermaid. I just like that whole interaction because, like, in the animated one, they have the lagoon and like that's it. They don't really get to know each other outside of that. So seeing them like interact in his version of his treasure trove, having them have that like actual day out instead of just immediately going to the lagoon.
And she is learning. Like she's so interested in learning his like everything he knows.
And I love the market.
Yeah. Speaking of the market.
Oh no. Jodie Benson. I clocked her so quickly. I heard her voice and I'm like, shut up. I'm like, she got a cameo.
Well, we knew that they were going to put her in there somewhere because Jodie, I think anytime that Jodie gets the opportunity to do cameos, she always does them because she's done them. She did it in Enchanted. She's done voice cameos. Like she's in it to win it, and I love that they included her. And I actually had a moment when Ariel was getting rescued on the boat. for a hot second. I was
You
like,
thought it was
oh
gonna
my
be-
God, it's the original Sebastian, but he passed, unfortunately, a couple
Yeah.
years ago. But
Yeah.
there was still that moment where I was like,
could it be? I really love that the moment that we got for them was an altered version of her with the dingle hopper, and it was Jodie like giving her, because that's like such an
Yeah.
iconic scene
that's
in
like
the
a
original.
passing on the torch.
Like here it is. And so
Yeah.
and the way that she like the camera like focused solely on her face as she smiled, I'm just like, my childhood. It's Jodie.
I know. I love seeing them interact together. They're just so incredibly sweet to one another. And it was just it was a good moment. She was passing the torch on. It was great. I love seeing them have their little dance. I loved her moment where she sees the sandals and she's like,
yeah,
I need those.
Yeah. 100% prefer sandals over whatever fucking heels she had
whatever
to wear.
those boots were. Yeah. I loved the shade of her hair.
I think they did a really good job at like incorporating a more natural look to the red.
Yeah. And I know that was like a really big sticking point for some people was, oh, she doesn't have the bright red hair.
She doesn't need the bright
She doesn't need to have fire engine red hair.
No.
She has red hair. It's just more of a coppery red, and it complements her skin tone, and it looks better.
And I'm just like, I'm sorry, is
dry
the
land and water?
Is the Red Sea fire red? No. It's just called the Red Sea, and that's where she's supposed to be in charge.
Yeah. So I thought it was really good. I like that they added the little tidbit of Eric being adopted. I thought that was nice. I liked I want to call him Brimsley, but I know that's not right. Is it?
It's Grimly. Grimly.
Oh, my brain definitely heard it as a B, not a G.
Yeah. I really liked him. They made him a lot softer, I feel, characterization wise. Like, I thought the interaction with, he's like, we can spare one carriage.
I'm sorry. No. The moment where he kicked the ring, he's like, oh my God.
He's a stan.
He was like,
he's here for it.
I'm Team Ariel.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, are you sure this is what you want?
Yeah. I also really liked when he asked what her name was and they were like on the boat and like
and the way she did it.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because he loves the stars. And so she's like, Aries.
Yeah. That whole moment was so sweet.
I think they did a really good job at casting the woman who played Vanessa. I think she looked very similar to the actual Vanessa from the animated film. And they had her in that purple dress. Like, I think it was just done very well. I will say I was a little disappointed that the whole fight scene was not on a boat.
Then we got that later.
We got like it was like, I wanted to see Vanessa fly into a cake. Like, I wanted the whole moment, but it's okay. It was still good.
Yeah. Oh, I like how so obviously they couldn't do the lagoon scene exactly as it was with, all of the fish jumping around and taking all of that. But I like how they changed it.
Yeah.
They did a really good job incorporating some of the elements that they could, like having the insects be like the winds. Again, Aquafina, I thought she was really funny in that moment as Scuttle like going down her head. She's like singing the notes so obnoxiously. I liked Scuttlebutt. I thought that was actually really cute.
Yeah.
It was just so good. Yeah, the fight scene, I like that they changed it to be Ariel who steers the ship instead of Eric. I thought that was a good necessary change to kind of like showcase
women
she
can
doesn't need to be saved by him, but they can also save themselves. It was really good.
And she saved her father and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And I like that they added that. And I was expecting him to turn into the little thing, but obviously he didn't do that. He like dissolved, which was fine. I
was not ready for him to dissolve. I was like, no.
I'm pretty sure that the creatures that are grabbing at her in the beginning, though, are the other like merfolk? Are they supposed to represent the beings that
Yeah.
she's done this with? Because they're like trying to stop her from going in. So
I
I
also
thought
like
they did
how
a good job with Flotsam and Jetsam too.
I think they did I think it was really interesting how they incorporated like that second half of the spell that Ursula gave her where she forgets about the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it really kind of ties like a loose thread that we had in the animated film where it's just like, girl, just literally just go kiss him.
Mm-hmm.
Just go kiss him. What the fuck?
So she didn't.
And like Sebastian's like, you have to get the kiss, and she's like, blank face. What?
Yeah.
What kiss? Nobody know
And
about a kiss.
every moment where Sebastian's like, it's gonna happen, and David's just like going. He's like, yeah, get in there, leave it there. He was so good.
The ultimate hype man.
It really is.
I will say I do miss Sebastian versus the cook.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
so
waiting
funny.
for that.
That was
When he was
so
like
funny.
studying around, I was like, is the cook gonna? And then no.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I think a lot of us were waiting.
You're running around the open. I'm surprised no one's seen you yet.
Right?
I know that was one thing that Kinley said when we walked out. She was like, "They didn't do the crab thing," and I was like, "We got other stuff.
Yeah, we got new songs.
Yeah,
they're pretty good songs too.
Yeah, I felt like the songs that they added fit in the moments that they had them,
and like we got like more in depth moments with Ariel when she couldn't talk, where we got like that, like her being carted up to the castle, like that whole like song that she had was really good.
Yeah, and I like. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I did like her like inner voice singing rather than like a monologue.
Yeah, and I
so, like we're still getting those moments with her.
Yeah, I like that we had that early sequence with Eric. We didn't meet. I don't remember ever meeting his parents in the animated one. So
he did not have parents in the animated one. He just had
that's true.
Grimly. Just Grimly.
Yeah.
Just Grimly.
So I'm glad that we got to have those other interactions and the interactions with the staff, and there's just so much more that you can add with these live action versions now. It's been like that with all of them.
You know what?
They've just added these other little tidbits.
I don't know if you guys noticed. You know what we didn't get in this movie? I'm 16. I'm an adult. We did not get the 16.
I kept waiting for the "Daddy, I love him."
I'm just
That's
like,
true.
They were really like, this is a different time. This won't fly like it did in 1989.
I'm pretty sure they aged her up because Eric was 21.
21, and it would not look good if a 16-year-old and a 21-year-old in 2023. That would not.
That would rub a lot of people wrong.
It would work well. So they definitely aged her up, but I think because now recently a lot of people have been getting backlash, like they've been getting, the original was getting backlash from it from like people around our age, and I was telling Emily before we went in, we were talking about that line, and I'm like, I think it's so funny when you're young and you're watch that her. And you're like, yeah, she's an adult. She's 16. And then you
I'm like,
are aged older than 16. And I'm like, oh, baby child, you don't know shit. No. Sit down.
I work with 16-year-olds on the daily.
Yeah.
Sit down.
You don't know shit. I'm like, Riley is 18. And I'm just like, a child.
No.
A child. Yeah. No, I concur. It was just so good. Visually, it was just stunning. I thought they did a great job. As much as people hated the realism for some of the characters, it was well done.
Yeah.
I will say, like, really it good. Was, you know, they've gotten a lot of backlash from communities with other like the redos, the live action ones, for them not sticking close enough to the original storyline. And I think that they did a really, really good job with this one, because you had scenes that were like moment for moment to the animated version, but we did get like those added bonuses of just like new scenes. So they took the old and they just kind of added to it, instead of trying to redo it, which I really appreciated, because like the shark scene, with her in the boat, like that was done so well.
Yeah, I appreciate it too, because like even though I knew how the story was going to end, I still was like, oh my god, like I was like, I know how the story goes, like, but it was nice having that like feeling still, even with all the same moments.
Well, one of my favorite moments is in the beginning during the boat crashing. And in the animated version, we got Eric going back and saving Max and like throwing him in the water. But in this one, we got Ariel helping the dog swim.
I know. Oh my
Just-
god.
I was like, oh, she helped a puppy, and that's why Max loves her.
That was so cute. But it was just it's moments like that that I think really breathe so much new life into it, because
Mhm.
it wasn't they weren't major changes. It was just these little tweaks here and there to showcase each character's personality a little bit more. Like
We still got her. We still got her
had
like
the
doing the
Dinglehopper.
carriage. Like we
Yeah.
got.
We still had the Dinglehopper, obviously. We
We
still
did not
had
have
her.
this. We did not have the Snarfblatt, which I was upset about.
She was
Okay.
interrupted.
Actually, no, that was not the Snarfblatt. That what she was holding in this one was actually a corkscrew. If you look
Oh, it was the
closely at it,
corkscrew? Okay.
so it wasn't.
I
It
thought it was
wasn't.
a siphon.
It was not an old pipe. So we did not get it. It's okay.
But we still had,
We got the
a lot of
Dinglehopper.
those really iconic moments.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's this is definitely the most balanced by far. Personally, I still really love the live action Cinderella. I still think that one's a great one, but that one still had a lot of pretty big changes. Not as far as like the actual plot progression, but like how and where and what happened between. But yeah, this one was really good.
I feel
And
like
hopefully this is setting the precedent from here on out.
I think that they got so much backlash from the remake of Mulan, which I mean,
And from the
very
Lion
different.
King, because people
I
were
haven't
not
seen the
happy
Lion
with
King
how
yet.
the Lion King, because the Lion King is literally an exact replica, just like live action.
Yeah.
I haven't
I think
seen either.
I see we have that rendition where it's like a exact replica, and then you have Mulan, which is
vastly different.
You literally just have the names, like you just kept the names, but not even of like everyone. And I get it, like I get why they did it. They wanted to be more representative of the culture and the time of China. But I think we're talking about Disney here, and we know none of this is real. Like you had a talking dragon in the original animation.
There was no Mushu. I was out.
Yeah. I think there was a way that they could have done it and stayed true to the culture and still have that little element, because it is based in Chinese lore. Like it still would have been stylistically that type of dragon.
Yeah.
They could have made it like slightly more serious, but there's a way that they could have gone about it that was respectful and kind of held true to that notion. I do think that there's one movie that they should never do, which is Pocahontas.
Oh yeah, no,
I don't think they should ever ever reapproach that media ever again.
Nope. I do think that with The Little Mermaid, they did a really good job of balancing everything out, of bringing in new, because they obviously are going to get a lot more new fans of Little Mermaid, where they didn't have before, like a very new demographic of fan. Like you were talking about Victoria, but also just I also teared up just because The Little Mermaid is like one of my all-time favorite like Disney movies, and so they're kind of reigniting this situation for people who are our age, who literally grew up with these princesses, and we're kind of seeing our childhood like reimagined, which is I think really helpful for us to keep us going in these trying times. We're getting these bits of joy where it's like, okay, like there's still magic here.
Well, and that era of movies was when they first started toying around with like, let's get to know these characters more. We can make the movies longer, and you know more about the characters. Because if you look at like The Little Mermaid compared to Cinderella, we know nothing about Cinderella.
No. We know that she don't have no parents.
Yeah. So that's when they really started to like delve into actually giving these characters more backstory, and now they've just expanded upon that, and it's really great. And it was just so fantastically done, and I'm just really pleased. I'm not excited to see the haterades come out and just be hateful to be hateful, especially because Ariel's supposed to be white. She's a fucking mermaid. Get over yourself. There is African lore also about mermaids. Like, calm your tits. It's fine.
There's
the ocean.
Any shipfaring community has lore about sirens and mermaids.
Exactly.
That's
why all of the other mermaids are also different races.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that the ocean had race.
They do.
What? Huh?
Wow.
They got fish.
Melanin
There's races of
a
fish.
wonderful thing.
You know what? They do have race. They have races of fish.
Yeah.
And Ariel is top tier fish.
Also, actually, speaking of the different races, I loved specifically the black mermaids that had like the more like
what's her name?
Africanized ones.
She was in the second season of Bridgerton.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know who you're talking about. She plays Kate.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved how the design of her upper half was very like tribal inspired. I thought that was absolutely beautiful because I saw that and I was like, huh, she looks like a queen. It looks great.
They had very diverse sisters, and you can kind of see like where they would come from, like within their regions,
which sea they were in.
Yeah.
But it was just diversity
Asian.
everywhere.
Yeah,
it was great. I'm just so happy. I'm never not going to be happy about this.
God, I was, we were walking out of the movie and I was just like, damn, if only we were on the Wonder when this came out, we would have seen it on.
I know.
That one, so the Wonder is Ariel's ship, so they have like the Ariel statue inside Katalyn. So it's like, it is actually like the theme of Little Mermaid. So I feel like they would have really gone all out for that one on the ship.
I'm sure that they did.
100%.
Gosh. Yeah. It's
I'm
just
sure
so
they
great.
still are.
10 out of 10 would recommend. Everybody should see it. Anybody who says anything negative against it, you're wrong. Continue to live your life with your incorrect opinions. Especially if they're based around the race of the people that are involved in the franchise. Like, you can go eat a bag of dicks. And
I also will say, I liked the new ending where they didn't get married, because it's like you don't always have to end with like a marriage. Obviously she had the ring on, so they're like together, but that they went out and they're like going to explore, like they're going to uncharted waters. Like it's like, I don't know, it was just, I really liked that change
because they're both explorers.
You know what gave me the ick though? The amount of women in their big dresses just walking into the water. I'm like, what are you doing?
You're about to get
that
way
shit
down.
Will make you drown.
I'm just like, homie.
Listen, they live on an island. They're used to doing it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I also love how Sebastian in the end was just like, because he was like, I gave her everything, and Sebastian's like, not everything.
He's like,
we didn't. So you were talking about how we didn't get the moment in the sparkly dress. I was waiting for the moment where, like, because he did it, you could see him putting his power in the water to her. But we didn't get that moment where she like looks and like turns to him. Like, I love that moment.
Yeah,
where she realizes what her father's doing.
Yeah, but I do love the fact that they left the. There is one problem though: how much I'm going to miss her. Because that moment is very important. So I'm glad that they kept that. I want them to do the sparkly dress thing. I wanted it so bad.
I love that.
I was like, she can have her moment.
I also love, because in the original, when you get the mermaids on the surface, all those mermaids on the surface, it's still very separated from humans, but this was very, like, they were all integrated, like, sitting on boats and sitting on rocks and, like, integrated
they
with
were
the humans.
next to the queen. Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool to see. That, like,
did you also peep the little romance going on between the queen and Grimsley?
And Grimsley, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I was like, I love this. It's so cute.
It's like tension. Yes. It's there.
You can tell he's vibing. Prime Minister he's on it. Gosh, it's so good. I can't say enough good things about this movie.
They were also just like throwing sand around a lot, and I'm like, You're gonna have to wash your hair again.
There's in crevices. Those are in crevices. They don't
those
need to be in.
those are your concerns.
Yeah. Hey, better to have concerns about that than, the concerns we could have.
That's true. That's true.
So, man, final thoughts?
It was good.
Everyone go watch it. I'm probably gonna go see it again.
Oh, for sure.
It was just so well done, and I feel like I missed things. Like I feel like even though I was so invested, that there were things that I could like go back and rewatch and be like, oh my god, I missed that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So.
I know the one thing they didn't do that I wish they had so badly. I always fixated on this as a kid. I don't know why. When Ursula is there talking to herself about like how she's gonna get Ariel, and she has that little thing, and she puts her lipstick on. They didn't do that. Like she did it with her finger, but I wanted it to be with the little thing. I always
knew where when you said Ursula, I knew where you were going. Yeah.
I always fixated on it. I was absolutely fascinated with it. I don't know why, but that was my last little like. But whatever. Everything else was great though.
I think it was done really well. Gosh, I have no words. Like they did such a great job with this one.
Mm-hmm. Man, yeah.
And this comes from three millennials who grew up with the OG.
Yes. I had the OG on VHS, so
I still have the OG on VHS.
It's somewhere in my parents' basement.
I have the OG on VHS, like the OG with that piece of the castle. I got it.
I think I have it too, but I don't know where it is.
It's somewhere in our closets at my mom's house. Yeah. I'm probably going to extra hyperfixate on Prince Eric now. Like he is the blueprint.
He's going places. He better be mentally prepared.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but there are images coming out in like videos and stuff that they have two variations of Ariel in the park now. They have the original like white woman, but now they do also have a black Ariel that comes out. And she was at Disneyland. There's a video I saw of a little black girl going up and like getting a picture with her. Yeah. It was really precious. And she was wearing the blue dress and she had like the hair. Yeah. So
I love that.
Do have that.
That's so cute.
Okay, well, next Disneyland trip, I gotta see Black Ariel. So
I know. Yeah, next Disneyland trip we need to make it longer though.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, there was not enough time.
No.
Yeah, we'd love to know what you guys thought of the movie. If you saw it, make sure that you don't watch this until after you've seen it. Not that there's really spoilers. Well, I mean, but if like there are little tidbits here and there.
You're saying this at the end.
Listen,
it's in the episode description. It's fine.
I didn't think to say spoiler warning because it's.
I think Katalyn did.
No, I didn't say.
Oh,
it's in the description, but that's about it.
Well, they really shouldn't watch this.
Just let us know what you thought after you've finished the movie. We love to have discussions about movies, and we'd love to see how everyone felt about it. You can reach out to us on Instagram. We have our Gmail. It's tbp.s3e13@gmail.com. We also have a Discord server. There's a movie section where we have already started screaming about it in there. I saw Kiara's messages. They were in all caps. It was exactly what I expected.
Fantastic.
Yeah, make sure to let us know what you think. But for now, Kiara, will you take us out with an affirmation?
I will. So today's affirmation is, I attract what I talk about, so I only speak positive words.
Thanks.
I'll try. No guarantees.
I'm trying.
Oh my god, no. Oh, I forgot to do this. AMC has special buckets.
Oh, I saw your picture.
That light up.
Ooh,
how cute this is.
Aww.
I'm gonna hold it right here because I think we just got a jump shot of Emily coming through this little walkway.
Yeah, we also got a little sketchbook at our theater, so I'll make sure
we got nothing. We got nothing.
We went the extra mile. Anyways.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Tasty Tuesdays and Thirsty Thursdays for all new episodes. Be sure to subscribe and follow our socials listed in the description. Make sure you like, rate, and leave a review for the podcast to help boost us across platform. It helps more than you know. Have a lovely day, and remember, stay thirsty, bitches.